Well, hi guys, welcome back to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course here in beautiful Ohio. We are here doing street class time attack again, back where it all started for me. Last year, this was my very first Grid Life time attack event. It went very poorly. The car was popping off boost couplers constantly, and then when it wasn't doing that, it was raining. So I was almost 10 seconds off the front runner in street class, and we hope to do a lot better this year. I have a number of goals this weekend after going faster than last year. I also want to beat my buddy Mark, who's going to be crewing for me this weekend. He was here last year and he went faster than me, he did like a 37. So I want to beat Mark, and then I want to optimally try and do as well as I can in the class. So I'd love to get down to a 34, which is what the record was last year. We have a lot of stiff competition. Street class is absolutely packed this weekend. Be a good weekend to be in Club TR. Unfortunately, Ben didn't come out this weekend, but I think he would have had a lot of fun if he had. Fingers crossed, all my fingers are crossed, my toes are crossed that the very high-strung Evo is just reliable this weekend. That would be fantastic. I'd love to just be able to go, drive as fast as I can. So we go out for the first session. Last year, I think my fastest time was like a 1:43, which is way off pace, desperately off pace. So we go out for the first session, and immediately, right off the bat, I think like first lap, I did like a 1:40, and then it just went faster from there. I got down to a 1:38 in the first session, and that was literally just putting around lots of traffic. So the car has a ton of potential. We're not pushing yet, but we've already decimated our time from last year. I'm looking for a driver's side axle for a 2006 Mitsubishi. Evolution MR. So I pull in after the second session, feeling really good about the 36, but then I notice when I'm looking underneath the car and checking it out that unfortunately one of the axle boots on one of my front axles has decided to just tear itself apart. So we are gonna have to install another axle. Unfortunately, we also noticed when we took the wheels off to service the axle that the brake rotors that I've been running for a couple years now have started to just crack from excessive use, cracked all the way through the rotor. So unfortunately, we'll also have to replace the brake rotors. So we take off those two-piece rotors and we replace them with just single-piece blanks that we picked up from Advance, as well as a new axle that is not slinging a bunch of grease. Throw the wheel back on and we're ready to go for tomorrow. So Mark and I worked last night and then early this morning to try and get the axle changed out, new transmission fluid in the trans, and then new non-cracked brake rotors on the car. And then we started having alignment issues. So we set it as good as we could. And then I just went out late into the session and car felt pretty good. Brakes, it stopped. It's not slinging grease. And I managed to go like about half a second faster than I did yesterday. Still not fast enough to improve my placement. I'm still in like 6th or something like that, but the car has a bunch more time. We were seeing in the footage of the GoPro that my wheel looked like it was doing some weird stuff on track, like almost like the camera was changing. We're like, that's not possible. But we're checking it and it looks like the the camber bolt is actually shifting back and forth on the strut, because these Falcons are so sticky, the RT660s are so sticky that the G load is changing the camber of the car as I go through corners. It's literally like active camber change. So that might be some time right there, we'll see. So the mechanical issues figured out, it's finally time to buckle down, put down a flyer. So last session of Saturday, the conditions are perfect to go fast, nice and cool. I go out and the car feels phenomenal with all the mechanical changes that we've done, and I managed to PB by a lot. I did a 35.5, and so I come in, because I don't know how fast everyone else has gone, and literally on my way back into the pits, Jackie Ding runs up, my competition, and he tells me that the guy in front of me, Joe Mielke, is literally thousandths of a second ahead of me.
P4. Really? 6,000s to P3.
Off who? Joe?
On Joe, yeah.
So I turned my car around, went back out on track just to see if I had enough time to do a flyer, and I really went for it, and it was perfect. It would have been a very fast lap, much faster than I'd done so far, and then I hit traffic right at the end of the lap, so unfortunately I wasn't able to improve. So at this point the event is almost over, and we have 5 or 6 competitors all within like half a second to a second of each other, like incredibly close competition. I've never seen anything like it. So we're constantly shuffling positions. Every session people go faster, other people don't improve. So I'll go up to 4th place, I'll drop back down to 6th place. It's a mess. Jackie is like 7/10 ahead of me. He's in 2nd and I'm in 6th. Like less than a second gap. We've got Brandon in his E36 M3 with an E46 engine, absolute rocket ship, and he can wheel the pants off that car. We've got Joe Mielke in his Hawkeye STI. He's a really, really good driver. He's, you know, tenths of a second faster than me.
My name is Joe Mielke, and I drive a 2006 Subaru Impreza WRX STI. I am in street class. So in this class this weekend, we have Josh Halka, who's leading the field, followed by Jackie Ding, and then myself. And right behind me is Tony Barber, who's also in a Tesla, along with Jackie.
Hello everyone, Jackie Ding here. This is our PhD Racing Mountain Pass Performance 2021 Tesla Model 3 Performance. So obviously this weekend we're racing with Ben Ling, our good friend. There's also Tony Barber from Turning Concept with another Tesla Model 3. And I know there's a couple Subarus, others behind us that are trying to catch up the gap. So it's definitely very tight, very intricate battle going on for P1 to P6.
My name is Brandon Randvik. I have the privilege of driving the ASM street class car called Twitch. A Twitch is an E36 chassis with an S54 out of an E46 engine. Ben is right on my heels. I think, what are we, separated by a 1/10 or something like that? And then there's a few more people in between us there.
You know, everybody's kind of in the mix, so it might come down to the wire, because I don't know if anybody's sandbagging, you know, if anybody's holding back with the boost, or, you know, they're waiting for the good tires for Sunday.
So far we ran a 35.495, something like that. Just finally able to pull something out of my ass. It's so close. It's so sketchy, this car. On the limit, it's definitely more of a dance than what I'm used to. It's getting there. We're finding more and more time. It's gonna be a tight battle to the end of the weekend. It's definitely easy to find time in Mid-Ohio, because you can find a couple tenths here, a couple tenths there. The really tricky part is how you string it all together. No mistakes, no traffic, gotta be a perfect weather, perfect lap. Mid-Ohio is possibly one of my favorite tracks in the whole of North America.
Mid-Ohio is a very fun track. It's almost like a roller coaster, especially through the S's.
Through the S's, you are just constantly moving the hands. You have to be focused, you have to be on point, you have to know which apexes you have to do early, there's some late.
It's such a technical circuit that to the point where mechanical grip still matters, but it's all about how much speed you dare carry into each and every corner.
Okay, so it's the final session of the weekend. I've been unable to improve after that super cool session on Saturday. I was feeling so confident, and then it all just slipped away. Sitting back in 6th place, I've got a bunch of people that are faster than me, and now conditions have really gone away from me, right? The track is super hot compared to how it was in the morning. I don't really think that I can improve, but I definitely haven't been driving the car to its potential. So the car has more left. I just have to extract it. Something I've got in my pocket going into the last session is that Alex and Mark have been dialing my car in all weekend. Literally, Alex, Jackie's crew chief, my competition, has been making my car go faster and faster however he can. So the car is a little bit set up differently for this last session, but I still don't know if that's going to be enough. So we head out on track for the final session, and I'm sitting behind the Tesla Model 3, and we just start going at it. We are driving in super close proximity. He's throwing dirt up in my face. I'm right on his tail. He gives me a point by on the second lap out. We are both absolutely pedal to the metal, wheeling as hard as we possibly can. So I cross the finish line after my final flying lap, and the timer says 135.1.
35!
Not too bad, not too bad now.
That did not come back in, pit! Box! Box, box, box!
A 133 to a 134 to a 135, and then a lot of 135s. But man, just in front of the 135 crew with a 135, 139, Mr. Ben Lynn.
I have just taken third place, a podium spot in suboptimal conditions. I leapfrogged 3 other excellent drivers. I was blown away that the car had that much more time left in it in those conditions, and even more surprised that I was able to extract that performance. So this was my second podium of the season, second third place after my first third place at NCM, but this one, it was way harder fought. The competition all weekend was absolutely astonishing. We were constantly pushing each other to go faster. Your position was never safe. And it was so fun. I really feel proud of my performance this weekend. You know, even being in the same echelon as Jackie and a bunch of these other drivers is incredible. Thanks to Valvoline, another weekend of my Evo not blowing up. Falcon, we couldn't have put down those lap times without the incredible grip of the RT660. Basically, everybody in the class is running them at this point because they're so fast. So with my second third place of the season in the bag, I'm starting to think that maybe I have a shot at an overall season podium. But the only way to find out is seeing how I perform at our final round at Gingerman Midwest Festival.